Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
The suicide of Srimati at Kallakuruichi, rocking Tamil Nadu for the past more than 10 days. I would like to ask you first, this suicide was committed for the simple reason that she was reprimanded by her teachers on that day, and it is also being told that she was into some sort of a depression. This girl's suicide, combined with the apathy, the alarming indifference, inaction of the police intelligence, the police force, the local police force, which led a total indifference for the first 2-3 days. And later we saw the public had risen to a mob fury with breaking of the school property, creating damage inside the school buses, setting it afire, and subsequent action of the police in trying to control the mob fury. What is your opinion on this? And later we'll ask you a few more questions on this.
And we have to see this incident on two angles. First, about the death of the child. You said it as suicide. It is very premature to say that because without completing the investigation, when investigation is not completed, we cannot come to a hasty conclusion that it is a suicide. It may be a suicide or it may be due to other reasons. And what we have to discuss about this incident is, we have to discuss about it in two angles. The first angle about the crime, about the death of the child.
Okay.
About the death of the child, there are some contradictions because everybody initially thought that it might have been a suicide because she had given a dying declaration. She had written a letter,
yes,
and stating that she had got some problem with the two teachers, and it showed that she was under mental depression. That the declaration was showing that she had got some mental depression.
Okay.
Okay, but that have to be investigated in detail because the police have to find out whether it was written by her or not.
Yes.
Because the handwriting has to be examined by the forensic science experts. Handwriting expert is there. They have to examine. The police will be sending to them. They will give a report whether it was written by Srimati, because her original handwriting should be compared with that.
Yes.
Okay, if it is tallied with the Srimati signature, then we can come to the conclusion that she had given a dying declaration because she had got some misunderstanding, some difference of opinion with two teachers. That has to be found out. Secondly, after this, there is a contradiction in the postmortem report.
Yes.
The postmortem report says that died due to multiple injuries. So
Correct.
when somebody falls from the third floor, definitely there will be multiple injuries.
Correct.
And they say that death due to multiple injuries. But there was one contradiction in the postmortem report. There is a single word which says that ante-mortem aberrations. Aberrations due to ante-mortem aberrations means that aberrations in the sense that the scratches found on her body was ante-mortem, that is before her death. That is what postmortem report says.
Yes.
It might have been caused before her death. That is what postmortem says. So CBCID has to find out whether there was any scratches on her body before her death. If that is proved, then it will be a very serious issue. Who had
Yes.
made that, so those scratches and everything. That is what CBCID has been looking at it. They have made some model. And they have thrown it from the third floor just to find out on what position that model had fallen.
Yes.
And in what position Srimati had fallen, whether it is tallied with that. Or otherwise, if somebody pushes Srimati, she will be in a different position. That is why those model has been using.
Yes.
And they will first push it.
Yes.
And they will try to see that it has fallen automatically. All these forensic priorities, forensic probabilities are being assessed by the police.
Okay.
So only after seeing, after investigation is over, we can come to the conclusion that whether it is a suicide or otherwise it is a death due to some other reasons. So before that we cannot make any hasty conclusions. Several persons are giving several predictions about the report, about the death. We cannot give such a conclusion without the investigation being completed.
Yes.
We have to believe the police, that to CBCID people, and they are very well experienced, and the people and our subscribers should know why always cases are handed over CBCID.
Yes.
Why don't the local police station investigate the case? Does it mean that the CBCID is very efficient? Because same policemen are there. It is also in the police department. CBCID is not a different department. It is also in the police department.
Yes.
Only policemen, uniformed policemen are investigating the case. Why is it that on every occasion it is handed over to the police, even in Satangulam case? And the investigation was handed over to the CBCID.
Yes.
The reason was that they are not. It is not that they are very efficient. It is not that they are very experienced.
Yes.
Such experienced people, such efficient people is also present on all police departments, police wings.
Correct.
The reason is that, and if such important cases are investigated by the local police will have different responsibilities.
Yes.
Sometimes they will have another case in the same jurisdiction. They have to stop the investigation. They have to look after the other case.
Yes.
They will be going for bandobast.
Correct.
They will be going for other duties. So they will have multivarious responsibilities at the police station level. So if they investigate, they cannot concentrate on the case on a full-time basis. But the CBCID responsibilities is different. They don't have any other. In CBCID, it is a special wing, a crime branch wing. That is why CBCID is crime branch wing. They will be inquiring only such important cases.
Yes.
From morning 2 to morning 10, if they start at morning 10 till 10 p.m. in the night, they will be investigating the same case. They can spend more time on the case.
Correct.
That is why such important cases are handed over to the CBCID. I have got faith on CBCID and all the possibilities which everybody is discussing, and all the priorities and everything. So many people are discussing. That is why High Court has fed up with such people's statement.
Correct.
If at all somebody talks about this case, they should discuss about some important and valid points. They are discussing about all the fake informations. They are discussing about all the gossips.
Correct.
Just such unreliable information, they should not talk, because it will mislead the people.
Yes.
That is why let us wait for some more, because the charge sheet in such cases will be filed by the police either on the completion of 60 days or 90 days.
Okay.
Since it is a death, it may be filed within 90 days.
Okay.
So let us wait for 90 days. The police will file the charge sheet, and the truth will definitely come out. And like others, we also feel that the victim should get justice. The victim's parents should get justice.
Yes.
So I think justice will prevail, because there are so many people are saying that the school is run by DMK people. Somebody says that no, it is run by BJP people. Everything will be coming out during the investigation. So I request all the people to keep calm and wait till the completion of investigation. Before that, talking about all the gossips and everything will definitely mislead the people.
Correct.
With regard, you asked a second question about protest.
About the protest, the mob fury. I don't think any other school has seen such a magnitude of a mob fury where the property of the school was damaged. Not only inside, the school buses were burnt, even the police jeeps were burnt. Why most the viewers feel that why is there a lack of gap, a real gap between the police intelligence, the police which has to be there in the school premises. See, this for 3-4 days, they know the parents and the local people were protesting on the road like a road roko. Why didn't the police expect that something would really go to the magnitude of having a mob fury descending on the school, damaging the property, setting the buses and the police jeep also, as I said, setting fire on them? Why was the police, intelligence, police, why is there a real lacuna? Why is this happened? We are also told by other people, like other people, that the intelligence did send them messages, 10 messages, but whose mistake is that the city police didn't take note of it, or the local police, they were little lackadaisical in their attitude? What really has happened to create such a big furore, which is in any of the educational institutions?
Okay. First, we will be talking about the protest. You asked about the protest.
Yes.
Yes, there is some extraordinary protest in this case, because 3,000 people, 3,000 protesters
yes,
have participated in vandalizing, by burning buses, by attacking the schools, classrooms and everything. We did not find such a huge protest in previous, in some other cases, because one other girl had also Lavanya had committed suicide, but such protests were not held.
Yes.
In the case of Lavanya. Why such a huge protest? That we have to see. Because she was living in a village. If the protests are conducted by the villagers would not have conducted such, would not have involved in such violence, because they will be blocking the road, or they will be surrounding the police station.
Yes.
Only such type of protest will be coming.
Correct.
But here, some gundas, whatever, are some anti-social elements. Only due to the presence of some gundas and anti-social elements, such kind of protest could have been conducted. But in Tamil Nadu, you can see, in the recent past, whenever there is a protest, whenever there is an agitation, whenever there is a mob gathering, some huge violence had taken place. You take instance of Jallikattu protest.
Okay.
Jallikattu protest was started by youngsters in a peaceful way. There was no violence at all for the first few days. After that, police said that no, antisocial elements had entered in, and the religious fanatics also entered inside. That is why there is no other go. We have to resort to Lathi charge. They did some Lathi charge. But nobody has answered till today. Who were those antisocial elements? Who were those religious fanatics? There was so many accusations made against the police. Even somebody was firing the vehicles in the police uniform, by wearing the police uniform. Such allegations were made in the Jallikattu protest.
Yes.
So that was also misused by the anti-social elements or outside people. Who are these people? You take instance of Thuthukudi, Tuticorin, violence, that Sterlite. It was going on for 100 days peacefully. But during the fag end of the days of protest, so many outside people had come inside.
Correct.
People from Salem, people from Dharmaburi, they had come in. That is what the intelligence report said. Why police had resorted to police firing? The reason was that outside people have come inside.
Yes.
for making violence. So such kind of violence after the Jallikattu protest, such kind of violence had also done in Sterlite protest. So now the third one, this is also 3,000 protesters have come.
Yes.
Who are they? Because we have to see whether there is any Naxalite movements had been started in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Because Tamil Nadu was prone to Naxalite movement even previously. Even the neighboring state of Andhra, till recent years there was Naxalite elements, emergence of Naxalite elements. That
Correct.
had happened in Tamil Nadu during 1980 when MGR was the chief minister. So one police officer, Walter Devaram, and he had shot so many people.
Okay.
And kept Tamil Nadu under control. After that, Naxalites were destroyed. So many Naxalites were killed. Now we have to find out whether such Naxalite emergence had taken place in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Because when they have, whether they are also involved in this, whether antisocial elements are involved in this. Antisocial elements, the role of antisocial elements, everybody should know. What is antisocial elements? There are thousands of antisocial elements in Tamil Nadu. Police had got a list.
Okay.
What they will do. When a VIP died, police will be asking the government not to publish the news at least for 4 hours.
Okay.
3 to 4 hours. When MGR had died at 12 o'clock, 11:50 he died, and police was asking 4 to 5 hours. Why those 4 to 5 hours? Timing has been asked by police, you know. They will be deploying all the police in sensitive places, number one.
Okay.
Number two, they will be arresting all the antisocial elements.
Okay.
Or otherwise, what these antisocial elements will be doing, no? They will destroy public property by using the death news. And everybody will be believing that MGR supporters had destroyed. Not that. Only antisocial elements will be doing all this. They will vandalizing public property. They will attack shops. They will loot the property.
Yes.
This is the modus operandi of the antisocial elements. They will have a negative thought.
Okay.
And wherever they go, they will involve in violence. That is why we have to find out whether those antisocial elements are part of this agitation,
Okay.
or whether any Naxalite movements are there, whether they are part of this agitation. When there is some problem in Kallakuruichi, why people from other districts, protesters from other districts have come here, whether there is any involvement of other elements for the protest, which that we have to say, because the parents of the child, they are not very rich.
Yes.
If they are rich, just to take revenge on the school, they might have spent money and bring all these protesters. These protesters are coming from different places.
Yes.
On hearing the news, different places. They are firing the properties, they are damaging the vehicles, they are damaging. So this is the very sensitive issue which has to be found out by the CBCID along with the crime.
Correct.
Crime has to be found, crime has to be solved. It has to be found out whether it's a suicide or murder, and if so, police has to find the clues and convince the people that this is the thing. Like this, with regard to the protest, police should answer to the people who are all involved in this. Why such kind of hooligans and gundas are coming? What is their purpose? If it is not controlled at this stage, on every minor incident, protesters like this will come and destroy the public property.
Correct.
That is the one aspect which have to be seen. With regard to other thing, you were talking about the intelligence.
The police intelligence, inaction, the police intelligence,
Yeah.
which ought to have given the local police the prior information. There is definitely a lacuna, and which has led to suddenly people coming in that place and start protesting.